Hello friends, welcome back. In this session, we will understand in-depth content about the activation functions. We had a small session earlier where I gave a brief note about the activation functions like sigmoid and ReLU. But we need to know more about it because we are going to use the activation function based deep learning techniques, and we are going to choose different activation functions based on applications in near future. So this session is going to play a lot of vital importance. We will go into the session right away, and I hope it will be definitely useful for you. Right. We'll start with the fundamentals as usual. What is activation function? Very simple. It is going to help you in getting an output from a node. That's all. An activation function will help you in getting output from a node. Do we need an activation function? Yes, it is mandatorily needed. With the activation function only, one can determine if the output of a particular neural network is 1 or 0, -1 or 1, that is yes or no. Very simple. To determine what the output can be, we need to go with activation function. There are two types of activation functions called as, or two classes of activation function called as a linear activation function and non-linear activation function. What is linear activation function? Very simple. This function is linear. You can see that this is a straight line. This is called linear. A very straight line, and the values here in linear activation function will get very large, and it cannot be confined between a specific range. For example, I cannot specifically say that the value starts here and ends up there. The range is vast here. The linear function, the most important aspect of linear function is it doesn't capture the complex patterns, right? So this linear activation functions are not used as frequently as the non-linear activation functions are used. So what is non-linear activation function? Very simple. The curve looks like this. You can see that this is called non-linear activation function, right? The aspect of it being non-linear is very specific, and it gave us a lot of value. What is it? Very simple. The model can be adapted very easily for handling variety of data points, and it can analyze complex problems. What do you mean by that? It is not linear and it is not going from here to here. Instead, it goes like this, and variety of, you can see that the data points are all covered here, and it is going to be very helpful to adapt with variety of data, and complex patterns can be analyzed using nonlinear activation functions. Some of the very famous nonlinear activation functions are sigmoid, ReLU, and tanh. Though we have seen a little bit about sigmoid a little earlier, that is not sufficient for us to grow further. So we are going to go deeper into sigmoid right now. Right. What is it? It is a very simple activation function where for sigmoid 0 is the lower limit and 1 is the upper limit. Remember, 0 is the lower limit, 1 is the upper limit. This is what I am talking about. If the input is negative, if the input goes negative, the output, I mean, it transforms this number close to 0. If the input is positive, this transforms close to this number close to 1. And if the input is close to 0, the transformation happens by bringing this number close to 0 and 1. That's it. We have three options. The first option, if input is negative, I will make it as close to 0. If the input is positive, I will bring it as close to 1. If the input is close to 0, I will bring it close to 0 and 1. That's it. Now, one can have a look at the graph. This is the graph that we have taken as simple reference. The value for y responds very less or very minimal to the changes of value in the x. As it grows, you can see that here it has got settled down. So there is no major changes, there is no major response, there is no correct response actually. A large change in the input of the sigmoid function will cause only the small change in the output. Is it a concern? When the input changes are large, the output changes are expected to be large. If the input changes are minimal, the output changes are minimal. In that case, that is fine. But here, it is found to be stable, which means there is a strong concern, and this could lead to a very important point called as vanishing gradient. What is it? You can see in the picture that I have kept in the corner. This is the railway track. Here you can see in the railway track I have got three tracks in front of you, and they are very clearly visible. Over a period of time, if you see in the picture, I see only one line because this is called the vanishing point. After that, I cannot see from here. I do not have any information on my picture right now which can tell me that how many lines are there, where it got converged. This is called the vanishing point. And this vanishing gradient point is a major, this vanishing gradient issue is a major challenge, and that is going to be a trouble. When you go with sigmoid, you will always have vanishing gradient problem. So what is it? Very simple. I will not get the output as expected, because when the input changes, the output should change accordingly, but because of the vanishing gradient problem, I may not get it. Right. Now, when this situation comes, what will be the result? So what will be the result of vanishing gradient issue? The network will refuse to learn and it will become slow, right? The network will start saying that, will start feeling that it has got nothing to learn new, because it got settled down and there is no change in output and it refuses to learn. So there is no point in you going for it. So the vanishing gradient problem must be avoided. How do we avoid it? Very simple. I'll talk about it a little later. And there are activation functions that avoids vanishing gradient problem. In near future, we will see it. Maybe in next 2 minutes, we will see it. Now, the most important activation function which is used alongside the sigmoid activation function is tanh. Very simple. It is very similar to sigmoid activation function. But what is the difference here? There is one very important difference, which is nothing but the tanh activation function is zero centered. It starts from -1 and it goes to 1. So you can see that it is zero centered. In this case, it was not zero centered. You can see in this picture where it is 0.5, but in this case, if you see in tanh, it is zero centered. That's it. The rest of the aspects all remain the same, and the range is -1 to 1. Here also you can see that the vanishing gradient problem will still persist. So how mathematically we express it? Tan h of x equal to 2 by 1 plus e power minus 2x minus 1. So mathematically speaking, this is the equation that we need to remember. Tan h is also a victim of vanishing gradient. Now, so what we can use to avoid vanishing gradient? Very simple, ReLU. ReLU is nothing but rectified linear unit. This is most commonly used over others because it faces no vanishing gradient problem. Now, is that a rule that the input should always be, activation function should always transform the input between 0 and 1? Not necessarily. The ReLU is little different and it works in a different way. What happens is it transforms the input to 0 or the input value itself. What do you mean, sir? Very simple. If the input is less than or equal to 0, 0 is the value that will be returned. Else the input itself will be returned. I repeat, if the input is negative, that is less than 0 or equal to 0, it will make it as the 0. Now, if the input is greater than 0, then the output should be nothing else than the input. So input itself is sent as the output. Now, vanishing gradient problem is completely avoided in ReLU. In this session, we understood quickly about the 3 of the most frequently used activation functions: sigmoid, tanh, and ReLU. I hope you understood the crux of all the 3, and we are going to use it extensively in the next part, where we are going to code for deep learning algorithms or deep learning techniques that are going to help us out in understanding RNN. I hope you will definitely like it. If you like the channel and the content, please subscribe. If you have any comment suggestions, please go ahead and type it in the comment section. Thank you.